You think you know your life, but one ping can change it all. It was a Wednesday, the kind of gray, uneventful day that blends into the next. I was sipping burnt office coffee, its bitter sting sharp on my tongue, when my wife's smartwatch, left charging on the kitchen counter, lit up. A message. Miss you already, Kate. Tonight, from someone labeled Evan, HR. My stomach dropped, like I'd missed a step in the dark. Kate's been distant lately, her smiles forced, her phone glued to her hand. I chalked it up to her new job at that sleek tech firm downtown, the one with glass walls and overpaid execs. But this wasn't just late nights at the office. This was a knife in the back, cold and precise. I stood there, the hum of the fridge mocking my shock as the watch dimmed. 5 years of marriage, a daughter who calls us her heroes, and now this. Evan, HR. The name burned in my mind. Who was this guy? Whispering secrets in my home. I didn't touch the watch again. Not yet. But my fingers itched, wired with a mix of rage and something sharper, curiosity. What else was she hiding? I'm not proud of what I did next. Screw it. I'm human. I grabbed her laptop, the one she used for work, and cracked the password. It was our daughter Mia's birthday. Ironic, right? A few clicks, and there it was. Emails, dozens of them, casual at first, then bolder. Your place is better when he's gone, one read. Our place. Our home, where Mia's drawings hang on the fridge. The air felt thick, like I was breathing through wet cloth. They'd been here, in my space, while I was stuck in meetings, coding apps for a faceless corporation. I'm Ethan, by the way. Just a regular guy, mid-40s, IT manager, not some hotshot. I fix problems, servers, code, deadlines. But this was a problem I didn't know how to fix. Or did I? Kate came home that night, her perfume, citrus, and lies, filling the room. She kissed Mia's forehead, laughed at her stories about school, and acted like nothing was wrong. Like I was still the fool who believed in us. I played along, my smile tight, my voice steady. But inside, I was already planning. Not some loud, messy confrontation. No, that's not me. I'm the guy who finds the bug in the code, traces it, and rewrites the system. This was just another system to unravel. But here's the kicker. Mia, our 12-year-old, all braces and dreams, who thinks her mom hung the moon. How do you blow up a marriage without breaking your kid's heart? Can you even do that? That night, I scrolled X, anonymous posts screaming, divorce her or talk it out. Neither felt right. Then I saw it. A thread about digital footprints. Every email, every post, every click leaves a trace. Evan, this HR slick, probably thought he was untouchable. But nobody's untouchable in a world where data never lies. I dug deeper, past the emails, into his LinkedIn. Evan Carter, HR director, people first leader. Yeah, right? His posts were all corporate buzzwords, but a comment caught my eye. He's not what he seems. Ask around. A hint, a crack in his polished armor. Was there more to Evan than stolen moments with my wife? The plot twisted when I found a deleted email in Kate's trash folder, recovered with a basic script I wrote in 10 minutes. It wasn't just flirtation. Evan had sent her a report, some AI-driven employee profile, flagging risks in her team. It wasn't about her, it was about me. My performance metrics, my low engagement scores. He was using company tech to dig into my life. Why? To push me out? To clear the way? The room spun, the faint buzz of my laptop fan like a whisper urging me on. A broken circuit board flashed in my mind. Once whole, now fractured, but still sparking with potential. I could use this. I could turn his game against him. But where to start? And what was Kate hiding behind her perfect smile? A single click can unravel a life. I sat in my home office, the faint smell of ink from Mia's markers lingering in the air, my laptop screen glowing like a window into Kate's betrayal. That deleted email from Evan wasn't just a smoking gun. It was a map to something bigger. Why was an HR guy using AI to profile me? Was this just about their affair, or was I a pawn in a larger game? I couldn't confront Kate yet. Not without proof. Not without a plan. Mia was asleep down the hall, her soft snores a reminder of what was at stake. Every step I took had to be surgical, or I'd risk blowing up her world. So I dug. Evan's report mentioned low engagement scores, but the data was cherry-picked, My late nights fixing server crashes ignored, my team's praise buried. It was a hit job, dressed up as analytics. I'm an IT guy. I know how to spot manipulated code. This wasn't random. Evan was building a case to get me fired. Why? To isolate Kate? To make her dependent on him? The thought made my skin crawl, like I'd brushed against something slimy in the dark. I needed more. I hacked into Kate's work cloud. Not proud, but heck, survival trumps ethics sometimes. Her files were a mess, but one folder stood out. Ascension Analytics. Password protected, but I got in. Mia's birthday again. Kate, you're predictable. Inside were reports, not just on me, but on her whole team. AI-generated profiles, flagging loyalty risks and productivity gaps. Evan's signature was all over them, his name in the metadata. This wasn't HR work. This was control. He was weaponizing data to manipulate people's lives. Was Kate in on it? Or just another victim? Her emails to Evan hinted at doubt. Is this ethical? She'd asked. His reply? Trust me, it's for the team. Smooth jerk. The plot twisted when I found a draft email Kate never sent, tucked away in her outbox. It was to her boss, questioning Evan's data practices. She'd written, I'm worried this could hurt people. Like Ethan. My name. She'd hesitated. Why didn't she send it? Was she protecting me? Or covering her tracks? My chest tightened, a mix of hope and rage. Maybe she wasn't all in with Evan. Maybe there was still a piece of her that cared. But could I trust that? I leaned back, the creak of my chair loud in the silence. X was open in another tab, posts about corporate espionage buzzing with tips. One caught my eye. Check public records. Always. So I did. Ascension Analytics wasn't just a folder. It was a shell company tied to Evan's name and state filings. He wasn't just HR. He was running a side hustle, selling employee data. My pulse raced. This wasn't just about Kate anymore. This was about power, money, and a guy who thought he could play God. But gods fall when their altars crack. I started planning. Not a loud fight, not some lame showdown. No, I'd use his own tools, data, networks, exposure. I could see doubts on X, leak his shell company's name to bloggers, nudge his digital castle until it crumbled. But here's the kicker. Mia. If I went after Evan, Kate's job could tank. She's still Mia's mom. Could I hurt her without Mia paying the price? The room felt colder now, the hum of ink fading, replaced by the sharp tang of my cooling coffee. A spiderweb glowed in my mind, delicate, intricate, but one tug could collapse it. I needed to know how deep this went. Was Kate a pawn or a player? Then my phone pinged. A notification from Kate's smartwatch, still synced to my alerts. A new email. From Evan. We need to talk about Ethan. Urgent. What was he planning now? One email can shift the game. I stared at the notification from Kate's smartwatch, my thumb hovering over the screen, the faint buzz of my phone vibrating against the wooden desk. Evan's message. We need to talk about Ethan. Urgent. Felt like a trap, bait set by a predator who didn't know I was already circling. Was he onto me? Had I left a digital footprint in Kate's cloud? The air in my office carried the sharp, metallic scent of an overworked laptop, a reminder of how deep I'd gone. I'm Ethan, IT manager, the guy who fixes broken systems, not breaks them. But here I was, hacking my wife's accounts, plotting against her lover. All to protect Mia, my 12-year-old, whose laughter down the hall was the only thing keeping me sane. I opened the email. Evan's words were cold, clinical. Your husband's a liability. Low scores, disengaged. We can fix this, Kate. Meet me tonight. Fix this? My blood ran hot. He wasn't just stealing my wife. He was gunning for my job, my life. But why? Was this about control or something darker? I needed to know more about Ascension Analytics, Evan's shady side hustle. Public records showed it was registered in Delaware, a black hole for corporate secrets. But a stray comment on an X thread hinted at a whistleblower, someone who'd worked with Evan and bailed. He's a snake, the post read. Check his contracts. A lead. I dove into county records, cross-referencing Ascension's filings. Hours blurred, the soft hum of my server racked like a heartbeat in the dark. Then, the plot twisted, a contract between Ascension and Kate's company, buried in a public bid. It wasn't just employee profiles. Evan was selling AI-driven predictive terminations, flagging workers like me to be cut before we even knew. Kate had signed off on it. My throat tightened, like I'd swallowed glass. Was she playing me from the start, or was Evan manipulating her too? I remembered her unsent email, questioning his ethics. A flicker of doubt in her loyalty to him. Could I use that? I needed to test her, see whose side she was really on. But Mia, her face flashed in my mind, all trust embraces. If I exposed Evan, Kate's career could crash, and Mia would be caught in the fallout. Could I risk her stability for justice? I leaned back, the chair's leather creaking under my weight. X was alive with chatter, posts about corporate scams, data leaks, ruin lives. One user suggested, drop an anonymous tip. Let the internet do the rest. Tempting. I could leak Ascension's contract to a local tech blogger, let the digital mob tear Evan apart. But if Kate was in deeper than I thought, I'd need more than a leak. I needed proof she'd turn on him. So, I set a trap. I drafted a fake email from Evan's work account, child's play for an IT guy, hinting at a new project that could end Ethan's career. I sent it to Kate, watching her smartwatch for a response. Hours passed. Nothing. Then, as the clock hit midnight, her watch pinged. She'd replied, I'm done with this, Evan. I'm telling him everything. My heart stopped. Was she really ready to confess, or was this another lie? A cracked phone screen glowed in my mind, shattered but still functional, holding secrets in its fractures. I opened my laptop, ready to push harder. Then my phone buzzed again. Not Kate's watch, a text from an unknown number. Stop digging, Ethan. You won't like what you find. Who is watching me now? One text can turn the hunter into prey. I stare at the unknown number's message. Stop digging, Ethan. You won't like what you find. My phone's faint vibration lingering like a warning shot. The air in my office carried the stale scent of yesterday's takeout, a greasy reminder of nights spent unraveling Kate's betrayal. Who knew I was poking around? Evan? Someone else? Kate's reply to my fake email. I'm done with this, Evan. I'm telling him everything, sat on her smartwatch, unacted upon. Was she really ready to come clean? Or was it a bluff to keep Evan off her back? This text from nowhere changed the game. I traced the number, burner, unlisted, a dead end for a glitch. My fingers shook as I typed, but I'm Ethan, the guy who knows systems don't hide forever. This wasn't just an affair anymore. This was about power, money, and someone who thought they could scare me off. I found a cached X post from a deleted account, hinting at Apex's data harvesting scandals. They own your life before you know it, the post read. It linked to a blog, now offline, but I recovered it using a web archive. The blog mentioned Ascension's AI scraping employee data, not just for HR, but for sale to third parties. Kate's signature was on one of their contracts. My chest tightened, like I'd been punched in the gut. Was she a victim, or was she profiting off this? I remembered Mia's last birthday. Kate laughed as we cut the cake, her hand on mine. Was that all a lie? I needed to test her loyalty without tipping my hand. So, I planted a seed, another anonymous tip. I posted a vague comment on the tech forum about Ascension Analytics. Anyone know their deal? Shady contracts. No names, just enough to stir the pot. Within hours, replies trickled in, former employees, disgruntled clients, whispering about unethical data deals. One mentioned Margaret Holt by name. Bingo. The digital ripples were starting, but I had to be careful. If Kate wasn't deeper than I thought, I'd need more than a leak. I needed proof she'd turn on him. I sent another burner text to Kate. I know about the $50,000. Tell me everything to Ethan, or Kate pays. I waited in the cafe, watching her eyes. She checked her phone, her hands shaking, then stood up and headed for the kitchen door. My recorder caught her call to someone. Victor, it's over now. I'm telling Ethan. My pulse raced. Was this real, or just a performance? A moment later, my heart stopped. My phone pinged again. Another unknown number. You're too late, Ethan. Check out Mia's school. The cafe's chatter faded, my pulse sinking with the ticking clock. Someone was steps ahead, and Mia was in their sights. What had I just unleashed? One choice can rewrite the end. That text. You're too late, Ethan. Check Mia's school. Sent ice through my veins, the cafe's chatter drowned out by the thudding of my pulse. The air smelled of burnt espresso, sharp and grounding, as I bolted from my table. I'm Ethan, the IT guy who fixes systems, not lives, but my daughter Mia was in danger because I pushed too far. My leaks about Ascension Analytics had sparked a firestorm. Hashtag Ascension Scribe was trending, bloggers and journalists tearing into Evan's data-selling empire, linking it to Kate's ventures. Kate's call to Victor, "I'm telling Ethan," rang in my ears. I remembered her signature on a $50,000 payoff, burned in my mind. Was she a victim, or had she sold us out for cash? I called my sister. Mia was safe, still at home, sketching. Relief hit, but the threat meant someone was watching, closer than ever. I tracked Kate's phone GPS. She was heading home. I raced back, the city's hum fading to a dull roar in my head. At home, Mia greeted me with a hug, her eyes bright, oblivious to the storm, her smile my anchor. Kate walked in, her citrus perfume sharp, her eyes red and tired. "Ethan, we need to talk," she whispered, voice cracking. Before I could answer, she spilled it all. Her affair with Evan. The $50,000 was a trap to silence her, her fear of losing Mia. She handed me a USB drive. "Everything's here, proof of Ascension's deals, Victor's contracts, all of it." My jaw dropped. She'd been collecting evidence, not to protect Evan, but to take him down. My leaks had pushed her to act. Was this redemption or a desperate save? I plug in the drive, files, emails, a damning record of Apex's data theft, enough to bury Evan and Margaret. I uploaded it all to a whistleblower site, anonymized, and sent links to every major tech outlet on the block. The internet exploded. Lawsuits were filed. Apex's stock tanked. Evan was arrested, and Kate resigned, her career bruised but salvageable. I kept Mia close, her laughter my shield against the fallout. But the moral weight lingered. Had I become like Evan, bending truth for my own ends? A rebuilt bridge stood in my mind, scarred but strong, linking a fractured past to a fragile future. Months later, Mia and I found our rhythm. School runs, movie nights, her drawings brighter now. Kate called sometimes, her voice softer, regretful. I started mentoring kids to code, turning my scars into lessons for a new generation. But late at night, my phone silence fell heavy. No more threats came, but one question lingered. Had I won, or just survived? And would the shadows ever stop watching?